would you say is the worst place that you've ever barfed? I think I can even rank mine. Probably number one, have you guys ever been hungover or barfed on an airplane?
Oh, I've been hungover on an airplane, but not barfed. That's pretty rough.
It was terrible. I was barfing every 20 minutes on a near cross-country flight, and I had that little barf bag in one hand. I had a towel in the other, trying to wipe myself off, and then I was just continually going to the bathroom, and barfing in an airplane bathroom is one of the grossest things you'll ever do.
Was that after a radio convention?
Close. It was after a radio interview. Yeah.
But radio was involved.
Did go well, did it?
It actually went great. I got the job, and they wanted to make sure that I could really hang and drink, and so I showed them.
I hung.
Yeah.
My dad said he was on a plane ride from Texas, and the guy that was sitting next to him threw up the entire flight, but in his chair, out in public.
You gotta try to get to that bathroom. I know.
You can't do it in the barf bag in front of people. Like, that's just horrific.
No. Maybe a worse place that I barfed when I was a kid. I would get motion sick really badly, and I was kind of on a little cute elementary school date with another girl and got on those things called the cages. It's kind of like a Ferris wheel, but you're in a cage and you spin around. And the person who was running the ride started spinning it really fast when we got going, and whoa. I barfed so hard on that thing. That girl was so disgusted. And that pretty much ended our love affair.
Didn't you say somebody threw, or either you or your friend threw up in your dad's vent of the car?
That was a buddy who did that to my mom's minivan. Yes, he was drinking Boone's Farm, a really cheap, terrible alcohol, and he was sitting in the front seat, and I was trying to get him home safely. And he's like, I don't think I feel well. And he took his hands and he cupped his mouth and put it right over the vent and barfed straight, projectile vomited right into that vent. Cherry Mad Dog. And my mom's van forevermore smelled like cherry Mad Dog. It was so gross. In fact, you can ruin a car. One time as a kid, I barfed in my best friend's dad's Chevette. I had eaten a big old chili cheese dog and a Klondike bar.
That made your stomach upset?
No, it was the windy road we were on. So
He don't like to be spun or shook.
I don't. And so those are the three worst places I've ever gotten sick. So I can rank those. They're all pretty traumatic and terrible. So what would you say is the worst place that you've gotten sick? Is there any place that stands out to either one of you?
Oh, yeah. The Hall of Champions in the PGA National?
PGA National Resort and Spa. There's a hall. It's been remodeled since. No word on if the puking had anything to do with it. But there was the Hall of Champions where they have all the trophies of all the best golfers. He roused right by the World Cup of Golf trophy.
A KVJ Nationer bought me and Denny's, whatever that expensive shot is called.
Grand Marnier.
And she would not take no for an answer. She's like, no, you guys are drinking this. I'm like, I don't think I should. She's like, you're drinking it. I'm like, okay. As soon as I drank it, I go, I'll be right back.
And away we went. Virginia, you have barfed on the side of Jaybird's house. Is there any other classic place that you have thrown up that has been terrible?
I have definitely barfed on the side of Jaybird's house.
A barf and run, by the way.
A barf and run.
Threw up on my wall, got in the car, and then took off. And left all these people from England at my house.
Yeah.
And all this barf shrapnel on the side of his house. And then the people from England stayed all night.
Yeah.
It was weird. It was a weird night.
It was weird. I have barfed in plants.
Okay.
I barfed in a dog bowl one time, and the dog ate it.
Oh, right.
Now,
Okay, good.
got
Lord.
too far.
Dogs will eat anything.
All right. Thank
But,
you.
I mean, I would argue I did them a favor. Easy cleanup.
Okay. All right. One person texted and they said, I loudly barfed in church as a bridesmaid while the bride and the father were approaching the front of the church. The videographer had to overdub the video and blur out the projectile vomiting. And the bride never spoke to me again.
Bridesmaids barfing? That's amazing.
That's pretty good. Somebody else was waiting for a delicious breakfast at the Cracker Barrel there on the front porch with the rocking chairs. And they were staying there in front of a bunch of families. They just went, Cover the checkerboard.
All right, we're good. We're not going to be having breakfast, kids. Get in the car. I'm done. If I'm still waiting for my table, if that happens, I think of it as a sign.
Yeah, we're going to go home.
I'm getting the hell out of there.
I suddenly lost my appetite. Somebody texted in and said, y'all, I barfed in the middle of a beer fest in front of like 30 people. I just downed myself a jalapeno craft beer.
Was it KVJ's Beer Fest?
Yeah, I'd seen that happen. There were a few people that barfed in bad places at that beer
You
fest.
get high fives from this group for that.
Our first Vanilla Ice house party, there was a lot of puking.
Yeah. Yes. There really
As
was.
there should be.
There really was. Somebody else texted in. They said, yeah, I'm a beekeeper, and I was extremely hungover one day at work. Gotta tell you, you do not want to puke inside of your beekeeper suit.
Ooh.
Oh, that'd be rough.
Yeah, could you imagine? I wonder sometimes, too, about astronauts.
Yeah, or what if you're a surgeon in the middle of doing brain surgery and it just all of a sudden you throw up?
In the brain.
Do you still continue surgery?
Oh, could you imagine if you barfed inside of your patient?
Oh my
gosh. I bet you in the history it's happened.
It's had to have, right?
It's had to have.
Right.
Humans
That's crazy.
barf. You know what the zipper is? I think the zipper is like the scrambler. My mom Ralphed one time on the scrambler, and she Ralphed in her purse because she didn't want it to get all over everybody. But then, like, it was like a makeup bag in her purse, and it started spilling over that and just spraying.
Oh,
That's rough,
That's
yeah.
right. I threw up right when the ride is over and you're pulling in and everyone's waiting to get back on the ride. I threw up in front of everybody on the Harry Potter ride. I mean, as soon as it stopped, everyone's looking like,
Hey guys, how's it going?
I had all this stuff on the walkie-talkies. We've got a code, something.
Protein spill.
Not a good way to be. Not a good way to be.
This is how we do. It's the KVJ Show.